What's going on today, Internet? Selfish with the Retrospect here. I debated for over a year about buying this device right here. This here is the Powkiddy V90. And I was like, I don't really want to buy it now because it's been out for a long time. And I kind of figured it was just going to fade away into this crazy world of Chinese retro handsets. But it hasn't. In fact, because of the community around it, it's done nothing but get improved. And we're going to go over a couple of those improvements right now. So today, we're going to talk about how you can get yourself a V90, or if you already have one, and the couple of things that you can do to improve it yourself to make this device the GOAT of retro handsets within this category. So come along. Before we get started, I just want to let you know the background's going to change a couple times, so hopefully that doesn't bother anybody. There was spider webs everywhere, and then I needed to solder something, and I didn't want to burn my house down. Let's get on with it. Let's start off by going over all the goods that come in the box. First off, you're going to get this white USB-C charger, which works pretty nice, I think. I don't know, I've never used it. The most important thing in this box, though, is this piece of paper that tells you to make sure you turn off the power button on the side when you're done using it, because you can flip this closed, right? And put it in your pocket. But if you don't turn off that power button, you're going to drain your battery. The other thing that happens, and I've done it, and if you buy one of these, or if you have one, you've done it yourself. If you don't turn that off, it comes up with this message saying that it's checking to make sure you didn't corrupt your memory card, and it sits there forever and spins. And with the memory cards that come in these things these days, that's not a risk that you want to take. So make sure you're turning it off. So I think that's a good note to have in there. This is the original memory card that came into the device. I'm obviously using a different memory card right now. I'm going to pop this in though real quick just to show you what the stock user experience is. And then we'll go and I'll show you what the experience is after you do a couple of updates. And then you get some word papers. This doesn't give you a whole lot of information if you've been around retro handsets at all, but it is some useful info if you haven't been. That's much better. Let's get this stuff out of the way. Before we get going, let's get all the logistics out of the way. All opinions on here are mine and mine alone. They're just a random gestation of thoughts based off of my experience. Nobody told me to make them. Nobody told me to say them. Nobody knows that I'm doing them. And I think that's it. Boom. Now let's get moving. Let's go over the I/O on this device real quick. It's a clamshell, which is something I never really knew I needed until I got the Retro Pocket Flip. I love myself the Retro Pocket Flip. That clamshell is so convenient. But here we go. There's nothing really on here. Powkiddy now puts 8-bit instead of Powkiddy on some of their devices. Some of them still say Powkiddy. I'm not sure why they do that. Up here, you do have your shoulder buttons. Without doing some of these upgrades, the L2 and R2 buttons actually never work underneath the factory software. So if you don't do the upgrades, the L2 and R2 buttons will not work, which oddly, the only system that really uses these buttons anyways is PlayStation, which doesn't work super well until you do a couple of tweaks anyways. Now on this side over here, we do have our power on off button, and then we have our memory card hole. On this other side over here, we do have our volume switch. It's a roller. I know a lot of people like rollers these days. It's kind of a toss-up for me. It really depends on the device. This one it works fine on. Some of them, I don't know. I like the Miyoo Mini when they went away from it with the Miyoo Mini Plus. I was pretty happy about that. Here on the bottom, we do have our USB-C hole, and we do have our 355 jack. Opening it up, you hear that spring? This made everybody nervous when this device came out. And this device can actually go all the way back, which is pretty sweet. Very much feels like the original Game Boy Advance SP. All right, so you have your buttons. Your D-pad feels pretty good. I know when the devices first came out, people complained about needing to put tape underneath these. I have not had any issues, so I think they might have fixed that problem. Here you have your menu button. It's clicky. It's the only clicky button on here. They had to put one button on this whole thing without a membrane. Here's your face buttons. They feel pretty good. Feel a lot better than most devices that fit within this price point. And then your start and select buttons. So we're going to turn this bad boy on. And right now, if you can tell, I swapped out to the stock memory card. So we're going to go through the stock experience here real quick, and then we'll kind of talk about why you want to fix that. I just want to take a quick sec and go over the specs of this device, because there are a couple of other devices, though they are not flips, so they're not clamshells. They are slightly more powerful, but they do cost about $10 to $15 more. So I just want to give you this information in full transparency. Here we have a 3-inch IPS LCD display with a resolution of 320 by 240 on an ARM9. Got 16 gigabytes of built-in storage. It does have dual speakers. Its battery capacity is just over 1,000 milliamp hours. It does actually seem to last a while. You get about 3 to 4 hours of gameplay, no problem. They say 4 hours. I would say 3 to 4, depending on if you're going to do a heavier system or not. It only takes about 2 hours to charge it, though, so it's not terrible on that end. And it's running on an open Linux operating system. So now let's talk real quick about putting in the new operating system. Here we're at the site doing the software update. I did leave a link down in the description below. As you can see, it's pretty simple. It also lists off the software that you need. These are all free versions of applications. Do yourself a favor, don't download the pro versions, because the directions won't work correctly if you download the pro versions. I'm not sure why. That's just the warning that we've gotten from it. If you have questions about what emulators you can use and what the formats need to be and what files they go in, I'll highlight this over here on the right-hand side, and you can go to that link, and it'll tell you exactly what you need. Now, the first thing you want to do when you're going on there to load everything up, the new thing, see how this card here, this is the card that came with it, has no name. These cards tend to not last very long. You want to get rid of this card whether you update the OS or not. If that just means copying this card over to another card, that's great. Yeah, I mean, if that's what you want to do. But get rid of this card, because eventually you're going to be hosed, because this card's going to go bad, and you're not going to be able to load this, because it will die without this card. The operating system is on there. So what I did is I just copied that card over to this after I put on the new operating system. And here's where the kicker is. We're actually going to run Miyoo Mini software, or Miyoo software that makes the Miyoo Mini, which I think is kind of funny. I don't know if you noticed that when I put the image up on the screen of the website, but Miyoo doesn't run Miyoo software. Well, they do, but most people upgrade Miyoo to Onion OS, but they make a really good operating system for this particular device. There are a couple other devices that fit within this line from Powkiddy, and I'm sure you noticed there's some other device names on there. Those devices work with the exact same software. So this is the warning message you get if you don't do it correctly. So I didn't turn off the power before I pulled out that other memory card. So now it's mad at me. So I'm going to stop filming for a second because this will probably take about 5 minutes. And we're back. All right, so this is the updated software. Now, something that this has that even your iPad doesn't have, if you have an iPad, is it has a calculator. For some reason, Apple refuses to put a calculator on the iPad. So this does actually have a calculator app on it. Just thought that was funny. Now, you do have your game systems here, right? If you keep scrolling over, you also have these games that were on the device before. So you didn't lose any of those as long as you copied everything over. You have your settings as well and your skins. I could probably put this on the easier skin, but this is the one that I like to use. I'm gonna show you a little gameplay here real quick. So here we got Mario Pinball. Now you can either use the L1, L2, or you can use these buttons here. This game never disappoints. We'll go on to the next one. One thing I don't like is all the emulators on here use different keys in order to get into their menu systems, which is kind of a pain in the ass. But in order to get the menu system on this particular one for the GBA, just hit the menu button here, and you have access to everything from loads and save states to configuring how the video and audio works, stuff like that. So it's not unplayable. You are going to see the frames, they'll go between like 45 and 60, it seems like. So I've never played the game before, but it seems like it's doable. This is kind of what steals the show, is being able to play PlayStation 1 on this device, because the community has really gotten behind it. When you put those configuration files into the folder with your PlayStation games, it will actually make them run the best that they can on this device. The picture quality on this thing is amazing. I don't know why it looks so good. And yes, this is a game. This is Ridge Racer. This device, I feel like, shouldn't look as good as it does. But it does. It looks phenomenal. So here we are playing Ridge Racer. It looks so good for a device like this. I'm once again recording watching my monitor instead of watching the screen, and it's really throwing me off again. It never fails. Somebody always asks me how Castlevania operates on a system. Again, these have all been optimized by the community, so they work flawlessly. If I can remember which one's my sword. I was hitting the wrong button the whole time. If you click on the link that I put down in the description for the R2, L2 button updates, it will bring you to this website right here. On this website here, I'm highlighting where it tells you to download the file and what you need to install. The directions are pretty simple. Just read the page here. It'll walk you right through it. I've got faith in you. If you click the link down in the description to get the PS1 configuration files, it will automatically start downloading. So right here is actually what is going to be downloaded. It's going to be configurations for these games. Like I said, it's the top 100 plus 25. They're not all perfect. It doesn't make PS1 play perfect, but it does make PS1 play a lot better, especially for these games right here. So I would take a gander at this if I was going to be trying to play some PS1 games. I wouldn't buy this for PS1, but this will make that experience far better. Also, if you're a big Sega fan, this plays Sega systems very well. Probably better than most of the other systems on this device. So if you're a Sega fan, this might be the right device for you just based off of that. It worked well on the stock software, works even better on the upgraded software. What I really wanted to do is just get on here, give you guys a little treat for Halloween this year. Follow the links. You should be able to get any of this stuff updated. It's really simple. If you have any problems, I'm going to put a link down there to RetroGameCorps' tutorial. It walks you through everything on there as well. He's much better at doing that than I am. There's a lot of value for your money here. I know the question is going to be, would you recommend this device at this price point? Like I said, there are some other devices that are close to this price point. Though they are a little bit more money, they do offer a little bit more value depending on what you're looking for. The value in this device to me starts with the fact that I never had a Game Boy Advanced SP, and I always wanted one as a kid. So this is my closest opportunity to have one and still be able to play some other games on it too, which I think makes it far cooler. I know I can modify an original Game Boy SP, but let's be honest, it's going to cost me more to modify it, take up a lot of time, and it's still not going to be able to play as many games as this does. But like I said, when I did my first look at the Retro Pocket Flip, these flip handhelds are just something completely different, and I have fallen in love with them. I would say it is the device I bring with me everywhere, but that would be a lie. Unfortunately, I only bring this to places that don't have Wi-Fi, and that's because I'm a junkie for retro achievements. I'm going to go somewhere that I don't have access to Wi-Fi, then this device here is great, and I will bring it with me. And a lot of times I still have it in my bag, so I will still play it. Like if I'm in the car or something like that. If I'm going to be sitting anywhere for a long period of time, I'm going to get on Wi-Fi and I'm going to play games and have retro achievements. That's just who I am. So if I were to make one suggestion, if they were to come out with a new version of this, why wouldn't they? I would recommend that they put Wi-Fi in these devices, because that is the only thing it's missing. I don't know if they can keep it at that $40 price point with Wi-Fi in it. I know Wi-Fi chips aren't super expensive, but I don't know how that would fit with the board that's inside of here right now. I also think that this would be the perfect device for kids. One, they don't care about retro achievement yet because they don't know that they exist. Also, you can set these up so you can just put a couple of games in each folder so they don't get overwhelmed by how many games are on here, which can introduce them to the whole retro game scene. And nobody wants to do that more with their kids than most parents out there that are into retro gaming. What do you think? Do you like the Powkiddy V90? Do you already have one? Is it something you've been looking at buying and haven't purchased one yet? This does come in yellow and orange as well. Somehow I ended up with the black one. I don't even remember what color I ordered. I must have ordered black. Typically I ordered obnoxious colors, so I'm not sure why I ordered black on this one. In retrospect, making a Halloween video, I should have ordered an orange. To be fair, the box is orange, so I guess I could have just drawn a little jack-o'-lantern on here. I'd like to hear your thoughts on this device. Leave your comments down below. Let me know. I like reading your comments. I do that when I'm drinking my coffee in the morning. Also, don't forget to rate and subscribe and share this video with your friends, because sharing helps grow the channel. And I'm more of a grower than a shower, so I could use all the help that I can get. Thanks for watching. If you're still watching, I'm jealous because I'm over here cleaning up glitter from these stupid little spiders. And if you liked what you saw, do yourself a favor and subscribe. That way you can get notified when I upload new videos. After you hit that subscribe button, take a look at one of these other videos if there's something that interests you. Thanks again for watching.